Welcome back to the channel and another video. I want to bring up two major questions that people ask me. So if you guys don't know by now, this is going to be one of those explanation type videos. I'm trying to make it as, I guess, watchable as possible, whatever. I know you guys don't like me talking a lot, but we in the M340, 2020 M340. If you guys haven't checked out any of my other videos, go ahead and check them out. You'll see I already did catalyst downpipe, tune, paddle shifters, worked on some stuff with Beamer Code, got a video about that coming up. I can't think of anything else up top. I know we did Dynan suspension kit, springs mono ball. I'll talk about that stuff. Got a bunch of stuff. Jumbling. Let me get out of here. Exhaust is no joke. Stock exhaust, baby. This is a little M Performance with a catalyst downpipe on it. Sounded nice, ferocious, beastly on this highway. Got a nice day, man. Still no grip. This car has so much torque. This car has so much torque in it. A lot different from the 435, which brought up an interesting topic in my head that I feel, like I want to talk to you guys about, and that's why I regret selling my 435. So, right off the bat, I'll tell you right now, if there were any way possible, or any way I thought possible, that I'd be able to keep the 435 and upgrade to something else, one, it probably wouldn't even be the M340 that I would have upgraded to if I could have kept the 435. It'd have been something else. Maybe like a truck, a X3M, X4M, something like that. You guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. Let me make sure you guys are straight on here. Everybody know by now, or if you don't know, if you're new when you've been watching M340 content, down below and back, I had a 2014 435 that I've done probably the most amount of mods. You gotta watch out for potholes too. Probably the most amount of miles that I'll ever do to a car, if I'm honest. But I had a 435, big boost turbo, all of that, pushing nice power. Final numbers were about 28 PSI. Estimated, because I don't know, it kept breaking. 600 to 650 wheel horsepower. Reason I say that, estimated, is because I would have loved to get on a dyno to get cold, hard, factual numbers. However, the car kept breaking. At that point, at 28 pounds of boost, melting wires, snapping control arm bolts, axles, drive shaft, rear diff, everything has pretty much been changed. Trans was slipping in higher gears. It was just a nightmare at that high power level. Some of the things that I learned, or the takeaway from that, is to, build your car in moderation, or understand what you're building, unless you want to go all balls out. Now, if you have a Civic and you're trying to make 1,000 wheel, you got to replace everything, but it's a little cheaper. Bigger turbos are a wonderful thing. I'll tell you that right now. If you guys have not experienced a big turbo car, not a hybrid turbo, but a big turbo car, it's night and day difference. Now, you won't win any races, or you won't win majority of races. You got to trick the car, play around a little bit. But reliability wise, nothing really blew up as much. It just couldn't handle the power at a certain boost level. I was good all day, 21, 22, 24 pounds of boost, ownership wise, because the car had been pretty reliable. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only time the car really broke was a result of power, trying to add more power, or just stupidity from the turbo install, which an unknown shop did. Now, I'm kind of upset that it took me until the end to kind of notice that. It was a huge learning process. But for those of you guys out there, because I got a couple DMs about the M55 big boost build, and I hope you guys watching this video, because take away from it that it's a top-end car. It's going to be a top-end car. A lot of people get that misconception looking at dyno numbers. Some cars are not comparable. Big turbo cars, in my opinion, are not comparable to stock turbo cars. M cars are not comparable to non-M cars. The reason I say that is because power just comes on a lot differently. And I'll get into the difference between M cars and why I feel like they're not comparable to non-M cars or pseudo M cars like the M340. And I'll try to put some kind of squiggly lines up there that mimic dyno sheets. You'll notice that the torque in small turbo cars or stock turbo cars tend to peak very high torque-wise and then fall down as the RPM goes up. Now, horsepower is just a calculation of torque. So at the end of the day, if you're gaining RPM and you're losing torque, the horsepower line isn't going to go up as aggressive depending on how much torque you're losing. Smaller turbo cars build boost quickly. However, it cannot keep that flow because it's so small. So that torque number falls down because at a higher RPM, the motor, the heart of the car is pumping. So the faster it's pumping, the more volume of air it needs, and that baby turbo can't provide that, so it's unable to maintain that huge torque amount. That's why you see it fall off. Now, in turn, you'll see that horsepower will kind of creep up because the RPMs are going up, but not necessarily creep up as high as it would if it can hold that torque. What I learned from my big boost turbo 435 is that the torque didn't come on as aggressive. 3,800 RPM, which was my like kind of high like peak torque range. I started to notice the torque would go up. It'll slowly go down, being the fact that the big turbo could send that air through the heart, which is the engine, at a higher RPM. So what you get is the RPMs increasing, the torque not dropping down as much, it's kind of plateaued, and the horsepower number shoots up. With that being said, those two cars were to race each other, depending on how aggressive the numbers are or how aggressive the curves are, the car with the peak torque down low would get out of the hole 100% faster. And that's what was happening to me. All of these cars were getting out of the hole on me crazy quick. And where we were running the cars or doing our experiment, by the time we have to hit the brake or else we'll run into something, I still didn't have adequate space to catch up. Now, if I'm able to ring my car through the gears, it'll haul and continue to haul. You understand what I'm saying? Especially in the higher gears. Reason being is because once my RPM is up, I can't let it drop. I'm going through the gears, keeping that RPM up, which is making me stay in my power band. Their power band is totally different, and it's at the beginning. So with these cars, B58 cars with stock turbos, M55, anything. So if the stock turbo car does not make it out of the hole in front of the big turbo car, the bigger turbo car has all the advantage because it's already in front. It doesn't have any catch up to play. The 435 had to play a lot of catch up because these cars are really quick and they put down a lot of torque. I couldn't catch them. I didn't know a lot of the tricks to brake boost it. I didn't know how to do it properly. And once I started to learn and develop the skill, like keeping the transmission in drive sport, because in my mind, I'm trying not to blow the motor or screw up anything. So I'm subconsciously short shifting the car. I'm shifting at like 4,500 RPM, 5,000 RPM, just because I'm looking at, I don't want to crash. So I'm doing the most to try to keep everything copacetic. Long story short, I stopped shifting myself, put it in drive, and just let it do its thing. Huge difference. Now, where I would say I missed the 435 is that reason. I don't think I can have an M340 alone, and I don't think I can have just a 435 alone. I like switching it up. I love the instant punch. It's like instant gratification this car has. You punch it, you're gone. From stoplight to stoplight, this thing is a beast. But up top on the highway, I'm telling you right now, this car ain't got nothing on the 435. The 435 was so fast. Yo, I don't even think I could explain it to you guys. This car up top feels dead compared to the 435. And it kind of scares me because I took the car up to 181, which is my top speed in kilometers. And this car felt fast. But now the 435 felt way faster, and the speedometer clips at 160 kilometers. So I never really knew how fast I was going. Heads-up display clips at 161. So I would just hold on the gas, needle be pinned to 160 kilometers, and I would just keep going and be like, whoa, I guess I'm gonna let off. So I don't know really how fast I went in that car. But I tell you one thing, it gotta be faster than 181. And it sucks because I tell myself I will never build another big turbo car like that. But like, I don't know if I'll be able to go without it, you know? So 2JZ swap something, 2JZ swap something. That's the only thing that's on my mind right now. I want a 2JZ swap something. It's like, you can't beat it. You know, all my M55 guys out there, you know, stop asking me, do I like the B58 more? Because I like it. I love the car overall way more than the 435. But the B58 versus M55, I haven't big turbo the B58, but I'll tell you one thing, that M55, boy, that motor, the sound, the turbo spool, you can't beat big turbo. You really can't. And it's not just for speed purposes. That's just an amazing car. Like, thinking about it, just like, whew, man. Like, I just remember seeing that strip on the highway, you know, obviously not traffic like this, but seeing that open stretch, and I'm going, is this the time? Is this it? And you hit it. It's kind of like how that showers versus growers thing, you know. Like for men, I know guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know if women do, but only like 1% of you guys women watch this show anyway. But like showers versus growers, it's like stock turbo cars. It's like you whip it out and it's like bam, here it is. You get what I'm saying? It's that's what it's gonna be. From the moment you whip it out, that's what the girl's seeing. She knows what she getting herself into. You know what I'm saying? Growers are like big turbo cars. You know, you whip it out and she goes, I mean, yeah. It is nice, you know what I mean? And then over, you know, you get a little excited, you get a little roused, and that sucker start to expand, you know, for lack of better words. And it's at that moment that she goes, what? Boom, you're in it, and you don't want to let up. So I'll leave that to you, for you to determine what's better. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the motor, the turbo. But in all reality, a guy like me, I need a big turbo and a stock turbo. Well, a big turbo and a hybrid turbo, because stock turbo, I want to go, you get my point. That was talking, but I hope you guys caught my drift. So, yeah, I answered those questions for you guys in a very, very long way. Gotta figure out how I'm gonna chop this vid up. Thank you guys for sticking along with me, and yeah, catch you in the next one. Mike from Soul Speed.